of you doing today?
What's up, Ferrera?
I'm sorry for blocking you. Let me just.
That's fine. Listen, I'm the wing beneath your wing. It's fine. I'm just there to back you up.
One of the things that I really love about this series is really how we explore, what it means to actually chase the American dream and how that dream changes over multiple generations. But most importantly, it shows how difficult that dream can be for those who come from marginalized communities. And so what I wanted to ask all of you is, how is your vision of the American dream? How has that changed for you while participating in this series?
Wow. You can go first.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
I'll take it. Listen, Sharana, I'll take the question. The American dream, I feel like I think it comes down to a couple of things, but I think like when you start out, you have a very innocent view of what you want to do, especially for us, trying to be working actors or just to follow our dreams and to leave where we're from to go pursue this thing. And I think there's a kind of a maturing period where you either get really jaded, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Or you kind of stay in the lane and you're like, okay, the American dream it's still possible. It's not peaches and cream, and you're gonna suffer and you're gonna work really hard. So I think it's always, to me, it's been trying to find that lane where I still believe and have the best of intentions for anything that's gonna happen with my career, and kind of just being between not being jaded but also not being like too innocent.
Yeah.
Or set myself up for emotional distress.
That was such a fantastic analogy.
Thank you.
Wow. I don't think I could have said it any better myself, to be quite honest with you.
You don't want to answer the question?
No, no. I mean, exactly what you said. It's twofold. It's such a twofolded, manifestation of what we want out of life. And at the end of the day, exactly what you said. It's all about continuing to push forward with the realization that we are going to come into trials in the midst of it. So what is our character going to be when those trials come in order to get us to that next place? So just an addition to what he just said, because that analogy was truly awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I rehearsed it earlier.
And in addition to what they say, I concur. I concur to all that.
I knew you were about to do that. I knew it.
Yeah, we did too.
But also too is really it showcases just finding the strength to fight.
Yeah.
It's hard to always feel like you're almost getting close to your dream, but another obstacle gets in the way. Yeah. And I wanted to know, what's your advice for people on making sure that when they do become jaded, because we have all been there.
Yeah.
How do you make sure that you're staying the course? What advice would you give to people who are really struggling right now?
Step in.
Yeah, sure,
go ahead, because you have an answer.
Yeah.
I saw you ready.
Go.
So I would say you got to go back to your passion, why you got into whatever you're into to begin with. That should be your driving force during those times that are challenging and their struggles. You always, at least that's what I've done for myself. You tap back to my passion and what I believe I have to offer, this industry.
Yeah.
That's what keeps me going.
Yeah, I think it's all about your why and acknowledging your purpose. And I mean, I cannot explain this any other way, but as cliche as this may be, there is a reason for every season that you're in life. And if you can just move past it, acknowledging what that reason was, then there's going to be bigger opportunities in that next chapter.
I think for me, it boils down to just getting really comfortable with failing.
Dang. Wow.
I'm on fire. I just had a caffeine on. No, seriously, I think the most important thing is that you have to have a really good relationship with failing.
Yeah.
And I talked about being jaded. I honestly, in my personal opinion, you have to be the right kind of jaded, which is just the right amount. The right amount goes a long way, because then you're not worried about every opportunity being the thing that defines you.
Yeah.
A lot of times actors are like, oh my gosh, if I get this role, and then you start planning your whole life, and then the Oscars and the thing, and then you short circuit yourself. And then when you fail enough, you're like, it's just another thing. It's just another opportunity. Then you get to go in as somebody that's just going to show you, the people that, hey, you could work with me if you want. And JJ talks about that. Like, he's also auditioning. He also talks about auditioning the people that are auditioning him.
Yeah.
But you have to get to a point where it's okay when you've been rejected. So if you have trouble with rejection, this is not the place for you.
Look, I think all of you, can you just be my life coach
Yes. I'll start. I'll start
We're starting our group.
a Patreon. I don't know what the
Lattice family coaching.
Look, I appreciate all of you. I'm sending love and light your way, and I just hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Pay your weight. Hi, how are all of you doing today?
Good. Hi, Sharonda.
One of the first questions that I do have for you is, I love that the series really centers around chasing our dreams, or what some will call the American dream. But most importantly, how that dream becomes a little bit more difficult to obtain, especially those from marginalized communities. And I wanted to know, for all of you, after participating on this project, has that changed your view of what the American dream is?
Oof. We're gonna talk about I'm gonna say I came into this series like very much this idea of like chasing that dream that was instilled in us as children of immigrants, like coming here, like this idea of achieving this dream and then somehow saving my family from poverty has been in my mind since I was a little kid. So much of it motivated by the things that I love. Obviously, I love writing and love what I do, but coming into creating the series and coming into this new like echelon of like status, I guess, has been such a unique experience. One of the things that I came to was realizing, wow, I had to work so damn hard for so much longer than most people to get to my dream. And the institutionalized systems of oppression that keep one from getting to that really like hit me like a ton of bricks at one point during season 1, in a way that made me really reflect on my dream and what the American dream meant and what it means for so many communities of color and immigrant communities to have to work so damn hard to live their dream. It made me really rethink all of it. And so I think that's a lot of the layers that come into the show, honestly, for Anna, for Chris, for Eric, for Lydia, for all of them, like they're having to constantly negotiate between, you know, American exceptionalism and like where they come from, where it's much more community based, much more about helping each other out, much more about staying in your place amongst each other class status wise. So it definitely, that was triggering. I was like, yes.
No, yeah, I second all of that. I know I was like, I could totally go on and about it, but I was like, oh, well, we should.
I said we could talk about it. You can talk about it.
I mean, if we want to stay on that, I think it, like you said, I remember when we first sold it, it was such a weird experience to it's everything you're saying. Like you grow up and you're trying to achieve, like I'm the Chris, like he's so inspired by, you know, so much of my own personal story of fully buying in to being the model citizen and fully buying into the American dream and what that means and getting to that place of realizing, I'm like, wait, like why do I want this, and is this going to bring me happiness, and is this going to and is this, it's like you're saying, like you know, Linda and I talk about that so much, of just that feeling of just like now having that survivor's guilt and now having that of being that first gen kid that's like in between those worlds. And it's like, damn, like no matter how much work I do to own my identity and to decolonize, it's like I still have to live between worlds now in terms of that, you know, when you're starting to achieve your dreams and like trying to figure out, okay, but I still have family that I need to help out, and how do we, and my community in general that is struggling, and how do we navigate that line that I think, you know, those most privileged don't have to, they get to have more capacity, more space for other things, because that's not something that they have to think about. So it's just yeah, I don't know, I could go on and on about it, but yes, it's a heavy question.
Look, America, I'll leave you with the final word with it.
Yeah, wow, Sharonda, you really just went there, didn't you?
I had to.
No, yeah, good for you. Yeah, you know, it's absolutely yes. The answer is yes. I think it makes all of us rethink what we're doing and why we're doing it, especially after the last 18 months the world has experienced. But you know, I think for me, when I think about it, all of the characters are really on that journey, right? Constantly about what is the dream and why, you know, and Pop has to get there faster than everyone else because his stakes are really high, you know, and the decision that Marvin and Linda made to make Pop go back and forth, vacillate between what he's fighting for and why. Like, is this worth it? Is this a fight I want to fight? Or most people would just think, yeah, you fight to stay in the country, fight to get status. But for Pop to have to live in the space of like, what is it costing me? And it doesn't feel like a dignified life to have to fight for just the right to exist and be, or to have to prove some worthiness, or to be perfect, to deserve the life that you've built for yourself. It is so deep, and I think is the quintessential fight for the American dream, right? That the next generation throughout the season is fighting in their own way. So it looks different for all of them, but it really feels like all of them, like all of us, are grappling with that every day. What am I dreaming for, and why? Why is that the dream?
Well, thank you all so much. I'm so sorry for hitting you with a deep question, but
No, don't apologize.
Never.
I'm just sending all of you love and light your way. Thank you so much for your responses. They meant so much. And I hope all of you have a great rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you. You
Thanks,
too.
Sharonda.